He once walked off the stage and disappeared for nearly 2 decades, not because he was forgotten, but because he couldn't stand being found. Sly Stone wasn't just a funk pioneer. He was the man who made funk walk upright and stare down a divided nation. Born Sylvester Stewart in 1943 in Denton, Texas, he was raised in Vallejo, California, where his family, devout Pentecostals, sang in a gospel quartet. Stewart mastered piano, guitar, bass, and drums before most teenagers learned to drive. At age 11, he was already recording doo-wop singles with his siblings as part of the Stewart Four. By 1964, he had become one of the first black DJs on San Francisco's KSOL radio under the name Sly Stone. His on-air style, it was eccentric. He played white artists like the Beatles back-to-back with gospel records, breaking station norms. His sign-off line became famous among Bay Area listeners. Different strokes for different folks. But when he formed Sly and the Family Stone in 1967, he didn't just make music. He built a mirror and dared the country to look into it. This was a band with both black and white members, men and women, all in the same group. At the height of the Vietnam War and the civil rights tensions in the country, their sound was a layered mix of horns, rhythm, psychedelic riffs, and prophetic lyrics. Songs like Everyday People, Family Affair, and Dance to the Music weren't just hits. They were banners of social unity shouted from the dance floor. And then it fell apart. By 1971, as the band reached its commercial peak, Sly was showing up late, or not at all. His public appearances grew stranger. During a brief return to the spotlight in the 2006 Grammy Awards, he stepped on stage wearing a platinum mohawk, played just a few lines of I Want to Take You Higher, and then vanished off stage mid-performance without a word. The symbolism was undeniable. Drugs weren't just a problem. They were the framework around his life. Cocaine, PCP, later crack. He missed his own tour dates. Sessions collapsed. The Family Stone unraveled. Then came silence. From the mid-1980s through the early 2000s, Sly Stone became a phantom. No concerts, no interviews, no records. It was rumored that he was living in a van. And he was. For years, one of the greatest funk architects in American music, in all of music history, slept inside a white motorhome parked in the Crenshaw area of Los Angeles. No driver, no mansion, no entourage. Just a man and a van with a keyboard and a memory of what used to be. He never declared bankruptcy, not once. In a 2011 interview, he said, I just do what I can, when I can. His royalties, worth millions, have been siphoned off through shell corporations and management misdirection. In 2015, a Los Angeles jury awarded him $5 million in damages against his former manager and associated companies. The ruling was partially overturned on appeal, and much of the money was never paid. But the absence said more than the music. For a country that prides itself on second acts, Sly Stone never got one. Not really. He made rare appearances, a few European rumors, a shadow at the Grammys, a quiet mention in Questlove's documentaries. But each time, he stepped back into the shadows. His silence was louder than its bass lines. And for many who danced to his records, it became kind of a moral static. How did a man so essential become invisible? The answer might be simpler than we like to think. Not all prophets want to live in the temple that they build. Some tear it down and keep themselves sane. What Sly Stone left behind was more than funk. He wrote anthems that crossed racial boundaries when others wouldn't. He built a multiracial, multi-gender group before labels even had diversity categories. And when the noise of fame became too much, he left. He left us on June 9th, 2025, at 82 years old. He had disappeared long before that. And maybe that's the part that matters most. Because the story of Sly Stone isn't just about genius. It's about escape. It's about what happens when a man hears the sound of the future and then steps out of the way so we can walk towards it ourselves. These are Interesting Things with JC.